Most of the time, we see our greatest obstacles as something out there in the world, something that's blocking us, that's keeping us from reaching our full potential. And we use them as the reasons for why we cannot progress. We buy into a story and a narrative where the reason why we can't break through is because of something external. But in reality, our greatest obstacle is us. We sabotage our own success far more than anybody else ever could. With the beliefs that we buy into, with the thoughts that we let run in our minds unchecked, and with the actions that we take, the behaviors that we indulge in over and over and over again without self-correcting. How long does it take a human being to change when they know that they're not on the right track, that they're not going to achieve the goals that they've set for themselves? How long do they just kind of keep going in the track that they're already in before they realize, wait a second, I need to act differently. I need to think differently. I need to believe something entirely different if I'm going to get a different result. We have the potential to spin our wheels for years and years and years before we really do anything about the situation. And it's tragic to watch somebody who really has so much potential be stuck in a state of looping. But of course, it is the moment that you realize, that you finally have the epiphany, that what you're doing isn't exactly what you should be, and the way you're thinking isn't really helping you. And maybe even some of the people that you have around you or that you spend a lot of time with, you need to change or limit that time. You need to be in a different environment. You need to have a completely different approach. You need to learn a new skill. You need to try a new hobby, right? This is expansion, this is growth, and the essence of life is growth. So if we get stuck and we keep spinning and spinning, then our energy levels deplete and we get used to it, and then we need escapism to make ourselves feel better about the situation. And that's the ultimate self-sabotage, to start medicating, to start just coping and getting by instead of thriving and pushing ourselves. I remember when I was broke, overweight, and had no skills, and I thought it was my resources, it was lack of opportunity. But it wasn't. It was a lack of will. I didn't really apply myself. I didn't really look for ways to improve. And because of that, I wasn't being very resourceful. If you become resourceful, you can make a lot out of almost nothing. You can make yourself as successful as you would like if you really decide that you're going to start making the most with what you have. And if you don't have what you need, you can always acquire more. It's not that far-fetched that you could grow and expand. And surely you haven't bought into the idea that who you are is who you will stay for the rest of your life. How depressing would that be, to really believe that you are who you are and you're stuck being the same person forever? If you're not going to change, if you're not going to grow, what's even the point? You're just gonna keep watching the same movie over and over again every single day? At what point does it become too repetitive, too boring for you? And that's why I'm asking you to break up your patterns. If you're used to a routine, if you're used to a certain cycle of things happening time and time again, you keep repeating the same loop, break out of it. Do something different this week. Try something completely different, because you are most likely getting in your own way by not even realizing that you're on autopilot and everything is happening without you even really consenting to it. It's just happening because it's the default. It's become normal. And what's normal for you is very, very dangerous, because if it keeps being normal, you stay the same, and that's what you're used to. You see how you sink into that comfort zone, and then it's extremely difficult to break out because you don't have the awareness to even look and inspect it. And that's exactly why I'm telling you this, so that hopefully you have a moment of awakening. Awakening to the great opportunities that lie in front of you. If you stop self-sabotaging, if you stop blocking your own success, because there's so much potential in you. Just imagine who you could be at your very best. And I would love for you to actually visualize this. What would you be doing? What type of people would you be around? What countries would you visit? What experiences would you have? How would it make you feel? And feel that right now. Preview it, because that can really pull you and propel you into that future. So you leverage the feelings and the emotional boost that you'll get. You borrow from it and experience it right now. And there's no loss. There's no future payment that you have to make. There's no interest. You get to borrow against your ideal self, the best version of you. Right in this moment, today, you can feel what that version of you would feel if you really push yourself to visualize and to experience it. And then the chances of it becoming reality, they just start skyrocketing really, really fast. And then, ask yourself, what would the best version of you do in this situation? Where you are right now, today, the best version of you, the ideal version of you that's living your dream life, how would that person start to behave? What action would they take? What beliefs would they have or change? And what thoughts would they have in their mind? Would it be about how you're stuck and you're not happy and things aren't going the way that they're supposed to and it seems like the world is against you? Is any of that actually helpful? Or any version of that? Never. What is? I can do it. I have a way. I can find a way. I'm going to figure it out. I just need to apply myself. Let me focus. Let me concentrate. And all of a sudden, you're building power. You're building momentum. It's so easy. It can happen so quickly. It doesn't have to take many years or even weeks. It can happen today. In this moment, it can happen if you would like it to. And if you commit to acting as your best self, if you commit to following through on all your promises to yourself, and you actually do it, wow, it's so rapid. The change, the growth, everything about you starts to shift and you won't even recognize yourself anymore. It's unbelievable. I can't even relate back to the version of me who started my journey. It makes no sense because when you decide that you're going to continue to improve and work on yourself, you just keep growing and growing and growing, and that becomes normal. And that's a really good version of normal, the right version of it. Instead of being stuck, instead of being bogged down, instead of feeling heavy, getting in your own way, you break free and you make your new normal growth and progression and challenging yourself. And you don't settle. You're not okay with a standard that's below what you want. Hold yourself to your ideals. Be accountable because you deserve to be successful. All it takes is that commitment and that follow through, and very quickly, everything starts to change. And if you would like even more rapid change, if you'd like to grow faster than you ever have in your entire life, then I invite you to jump over to erafael.com. Over there, you can book a one-on-one call with me directly. We'll talk, see if it's a good fit, and if so, I can't wait to personally coach you and guide you. The link is in the description. Click on it, book a time. Can't wait to talk to you and see how I can support you personally week over week. As always, I hope that you enjoyed this one, and I will catch you on the next one.